And here is your first look at a real and fake pair of the Nike Off-White Dunk in the pine green colorway. Can you tell any difference between these two? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a pretty interesting comparison for you, and as you can tell by the thumbnail and title of this video, it is the Nike Off-White Dunk and it's in the pine green colorway. But before I get into this video, I'd like to give a big shout out to Legitmark, who is the sponsor of today's video. Legitmark is the standard for sneaker authentication and is the safest place to get your sneakers authenticated. So if you're spending this kind of money to get a retail pair, you're going to want to make sure they are real. So check them out in the description below. So today we have the retail and fake pair. The fake pair is on my right and the retail pair was provided to me by Brad Hobbs, and we can tell where he got them from. So the first difference to note is that the fake box is completely beaten up, whereas the retail one is in perfect condition. So shout out to Brad for keeping them in perfect condition. In terms of sizing, however, I would say that the fake box is slightly smaller. It's probably about a centimetre smaller width-wise, and in terms of the length, it is about a centimetre smaller once again. When looking at the label, and I'll give you a close-up of this, you can see that our differences here. The fake one, once again, has based this on the US label, so it comes with the US pricing. On the retail box, the text is slightly thicker compared to the fake one, and on the fake one, it seems like the text is more spaced out. It also must be noted that the QR code on the fake one is much thicker than it is on the retail one. But that's pretty much it for the boxes. We'll open them up and take a look at the shoes. So I'll try and do this at the same time. So here is the paper, and I don't know if you can see this. Straight away, the differences are clear. On the retail one, the paper is a much darker and bolder orange compared to the fake one. Also, the retail paper is much more laminated than the fake one, which just seems like normal paper. So there's a clear difference between color as well. And here is your first look at a real and fake pair of the Nike Off-White Dunk in the pine green colorway. Can you tell any difference between these two? So here we have the two pairs, and we'll now be breaking down some of the differences if you are trying to purchase a retail pair. So the first thing to note actually occurs on the left shoe of these pairs, and the difference is the actual off-white tag itself. So on the fake one, it's attached to the outside infrared lace, like so, whereas on the retail one, it's actually attached to the inside green lace. So there is a difference where the tag is placed on each shoe. Also, if I give you a close-up of the tags, you can see differences here. On the retail one, the text is a slightly lighter grey, whereas on the fake one, it's a very vibrant black text on the tag itself. So there is clear differences here. And also how the tag is actually attached to the shoe. Look at the difference in sizing of the loopholes itself. The fake one is very loose indeed attached, whereas the retail one has been pulled quite tight. Continuing on the left shoe, and if we take a look at the off-white text on the inside of the shoe, we can see differences here once again. You can see on the fake one, the USA text on the far right is completely printed onto the swoosh itself, whereas on the retail one, it is printed slightly lower down, and part of the U is printed onto the white leather below. Also, looking closely at the text, you can see clear difference in actual thickness of the font. If we look at how Beaverton is printed, you can see that the text difference is very clear to see, and it is much thicker on retail compared to fake. Spinning the shoe around to the outer side and looking at that orange tab towards the back of the heel, you can see differences here once again. The retail one is actually quite big and long compared to that of the fake one. The fake one is a lot thinner, but is actually longer in length. So there's differences there. When looking from above at that infrared lacing as well, you can see differences in color. The fake one, the infrared lacing, is actually slightly lighter than the retail one. However, this is very hard to see unless you are in studio lighting. Taking a look at the right shoe now, we can see on the outer side, and if we zoom in on the swooshes, you can see difference in the actual shape of the swoosh itself. The retail one is a lot more cleanly done, whereas the fake one is a lot thicker and just doesn't really look like a true Nike swoosh, so there are differences there. And if we spin the shoe around to the back and take a look at the stitching on the white panel here, you can see differences once again. On the retail one, it's much more cleanly done and evenly spaced between each stitching row, whereas the fake one is kind of a little bit wonky between each stitching row. And if we look at the Nike text above on the green heel counter, you can see differences here once again. The retail one, the text is a lot lighter and more closely printed together compared to the fake. When actually feeling the shoe, they're actually pretty close. I'm surprised at how thin the leather is on the toe, but this is the same on the retail pair as well as the fake. There is really no difference in actual feel of the quality of the leather. There probably is difference in the overall durability, but in terms of just general feel, they're pretty much exactly the same. Giving you an aerial view once again at the heel part of the shoe, you can see that the fake one is a lot thicker comparing that to the retail one. The retail one is based on the newer design, where it seems like the fake one is designed on the old Dunky feel, so it's a much more thicker, chunkier shoe compared to the new, slimmer silhouette. On the bottom side of the shoe, we can once again see differences here. There is a clear color difference between the actual tread on the bottom of the sole. So here we can see that there are different colors of green. On the retail one, the green sole almost matches the color of the green leather on the upper, whereas on the fake one, the green sole is much more dull on the fake one, comparing this to the retail one. So as you can see from this comparison, there are still things to look for if you're trying to legit check a pair of off-white Dunks. Could you spot the difference between these from a distance? I don't know, but from close up there are definitely things to be able to spot. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this comparison has helped you if you're trying to purchase a retail pair. Let me know down below in the comments if you could spot any more flaws on this pair. And thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, like, do all that, and I hope you have a great day. So if you're spending this amount of money to get a retail pair, you want to make sure, you want to what? It's a lot darker and is a more laminated, and is a, I can't speak today. So,